Well, hello stamping friends. It's Jackie Bolhuis from Klompen Stampers. Did you watch my video last Friday? Well, if you did, you'll know that I'm going to focus on the Peaceful Poppies. I always have to double check the names because this is all new. The Peaceful Poppies Suite for a few more days. This is the most magnificent suite of coordinating products I've ever seen from Stampin' Up. So on Friday, I kind of introduced you to the suite. We made some quick and easy cards, really focusing just on the stamp sets. So if you missed that one, make sure you go back and you watch Friday's video. Now today, what I'd like to do is focus on one of the bundles. And it's kind of an unusual bundle because it has pieces to cut out poppies, but not stamped ones. So they're just, I like to call them like standalone dies. And then it also has a greeting set that I used on Friday. I'm all about greeting sets. I always think if you have a really good greeting set, you can pair it with any image, you know, whether you like trees, birds, lighthouses, boats, flowers, whatever. A good greeting set will pair perfectly with it. This is really one of those greeting sets. So if you don't necessarily like the poppies, I really recommend you add this greeting set to your collection. Now, I want to share a card with you today using these standalone poppy dies, giving you some tips for them. Now, the card I'm making today is not part of the tutorial collection for my online class for this suite of products. So make sure you hop over to the blog because I will have the card recipe and pictures of the cards and stuff over there. And then just a quick reminder, remember you have until the 10th to place an order using my online class host code, and you'll get for free my online class that is using the Peaceful Poppies, all the different suite products. And oh my gosh, I am so in love. So without further ado, let's flip this camera down and let me show you the card I have for you today. So just as a quick reminder, Peaceful Poppies Suite is huge, all 4 of these pages. Now today we're going to focus on the stamp set, Peaceful Moments, and you can purchase this along with these dies in a bundle. Otherwise, the stamp set's wonderful on its own. So I want to just go ahead and make a card for you today, and we're going to kind of go away from this poppy color to do something different, because you probably saw enough of the poppies. Oh wait, you're going to see a few more, because I want to show you the dies. But then we're going to use different colors for today's card. So, like I said, we have Peaceful Moments stamp set. This is what the dies look like, and these are all, like I said, standalone dies. So I've cut them all out here. It's sometimes easier just to show you with cardstock like this. But you can see, if you don't look at these ones that are put together, these are what all the dies are like. So you can see on here them where these two, you adhere this one on top of there, then add the centers, and you've got your pretty flower. Same thing here. These two go on top of each other, add a center in the flower. We've got some buds. We've got some leaves. Now these can be left just how they are, kind of a little thicker one and a thinner one, or you can adhere them together to get that look. The same with these, singly or adhere them to get that. And then there's this fun one that just adds a lot of dimension to your cards by cutting through a layer so you can see the layer underneath. So that's what all of these dies look like. Now, let's get to the project we're making here. Okay, like I said, we are going to do non-traditional poppy colors. We're not going to make it a poppy. So what I'm going to do is we're going to do the bold, let's do the smaller one here. So we'll do the bold one. Actually, let's do both of these. So we'll do 2 of the bold ones, and then we're going to do 2 of the detailed ones. Then we'll put yellow centers in. So I'm going to cut out all 3 of these pieces. And then we need some of the leaves. So let's go ahead, and I've got, what do we've got here? Blueberry bushel, balmy blue daffodil delight, and then my 2 different greens, granny apple green. Let's see, why don't we do that in that color? And then we'll do that one in that color. And then while I'm over there at the Big Shot, I am going to also take the one that just cuts the center out, and I'm going to cut out of my white layer here. So lots of die cutting, but I'm not going to bore you doing it, so I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back with all of our parts and pieces, as I like to call them. Now, I want to show you, I actually die cut once here, and then I did a second time. And I just want to show you that, you know, there's lots of little pieces here. So I like to use the die brush Now, some of you may have an old one, but if you don't, and you have the take your pick tool, okay, you can get a die brush attachment on it. And after you've die cut, you can just run it over there. Look at how these pieces just fall out. It helps loosen everything up. And then even if there's a few more pieces, you can take your brush and brush over it, and most of them are gonna fall out. And then if there's any extras, you know, that still kind of get stuck in there, you can, well, I don't really have many. We can pop them out with the little pokey on the piercing tool of that. So there is our layer, and we're going to actually just adhere this over a piece of blueberry bushel. Now, I have to admit, I am doing what I call create on the fly here. I have not pre-made this card. Usually I plan them out beforehand. So we'll see how this turns out. I don't know, it might just be ugly. So we'll see. I just knew I wanted to try to make something that wasn't with the poppy red. So that's what we're going to do. Now let's go ahead and assemble our two different flowers here. I like to just use my liquid adhesive. Don't do too much. We don't want it gushing out. And on these, I just put in the center. And then here's the hardest part. You got to spin this around to figure out where it goes. And then I kind of start at one end, match it up, and then press down on the center. So you can see these edges aren't down, but I think that gives your card even a little bit more dimension. So we're just in the center there. And then we're going to go ahead and put the center, this flower, and I don't know if this is really the right way or not, but I take these two pieces and kind of build them on top of each other. So that just, again, lots of dimension there. So there's our first flower. And then our second one, we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to put adhesive on that center. You know, this adhesive holds, uh-oh, what did I do? Oh, maybe that's backwards. There we go. Holds really good, so you don't need much. So there we go, in the center. And then let's go ahead and add this little piece. Put some adhesive there. We're going to stick that right about so. So there's our two flowers. Now, what I said earlier, these leaves, you can layer them on top of each other, or you can leave them as separate pieces. So it looks like kind of two different kinds. And I think for this card, I'm going to actually leave them separate. So let's go ahead and start building our card. Wait, one more piece. We need our greeting. So we're going to take a stamp from that Peaceful Moments. This one says, "Life is better with a friend like you." And we'll take our black. Now, because I want this to be just a long strip of a greeting, I like to just take a scrap here, and we're going to ink up our stamp. And I'm going to stamp right down here on the very edge. Okay. I think it's easier to do it this way than trying to cut and then fit it right on, especially when they're not the clear mount stamps, or I'm sorry, the photopolymer. And then we can just grab our cutter, and what I like to do is just put it in the cut. Let's see, it looks like about right there, and cut it. So I don't know how big that is. It doesn't matter, but I'm able to just cut on the other side of our stamped words. Then we're going to go ahead and use some dimensionals. And it is longer than I need, and you'll see what I'm going to do here in a second. And we're going to put 3 dimensionals on here. Long strips, we want to make sure it kind of stays popped up. So let's peel these off. And then let's go ahead and just stick it about in the middle, like so. And then I can just take my paper snips and flip it over here, and I'm going to just hold it and trim off the extra. That way it just goes right out to our edges, like so. And now we just have all of our parts and pieces to put together. So let's kind of play around. Do we have room? I think our flower, we're going to put about right there. So we want to put some dimensionals on here. And cross your fingers for me that we like this card. Because seriously, I did not plan it out. So let's come down over our words a little bit there. We want to make sure we see all of our little detail underneath. And then let's take our smaller one, and we'll stick this one down here or up here. Oh, I think I like it better right there. So there's that one. And then we can take some of our leaves, and I think we're gonna, let's see, some of it, you know what, I don't want it that long. So what I'm gonna do is just tear this off, and we're gonna put adhesive just down here at the end because we wanna tuck it under. So let's just go like so. And then the same thing with this one. I want these to kind of overlap a little bit in there. So we'll go ahead, put adhesive just there. Let's see how that looks. I know I can come over the edge of my cardstock a little bit up here because this is smaller than a card front. And then let's do the same thing down here. So let's, just don't want those quite so long. I feel like I'm breaking off twigs or real leaf stems here. So let's stick that one under there like so, and tear this one. So I hope you kind of like this color. And you know, my point here is all the cards I shared on Friday. And if you missed that post, go back and watch it. I think I shared 15 different cards with these products. I did them all in the Poppy Parade colors and the colors of the designer series paper that goes with that suite. But you know what? You can make these flowers, whether you want to call them poppies or something else, just flowers in absolutely any color. And I think they'd be stunning. So there's our card. I'm happy with it. I think I like how it turned out. You know, let's just for fun, let's add some of the peacock rhinestones on here. This has been kind of my favorite little thing to do lately. Let's see if we can grab them here. I usually can pick them up with a poker. They don't want to pick up very good. I'm struggling. Okay, there you go. I like to put 3. 3 is kind of my number. You know, they say everything, designers and all that say do things in 3s. Oh, that popped way up there. So let's tell you, there's tricky little things. Tweezers works good. There we go. We got our 3 little rhinestones on there. And there is our card. So now go back to Friday's video and see the 15 cards that I shared then. And don't forget, this whole suite of products is what I'm featuring in this month's online class. So if you place a $50 order, use my online host code, you'll be able to get my class for free. So go check it out. I'll have a link down in the description of the video that'll take you over there. And don't forget, it's celebration time. That means with every $50 order you place with Stampin' Up, you get a free item. Now, if you don't have the new occasion, no, it's not Occasions catalog anymore. They're just calling it mini catalog. If you don't have the new mini catalog or the celebration brochure and you don't already have a Stampin' Up demonstrator, I'd love to send you one. Just get a hold of me and I can pop one in the mail to you. So as always, if you have questions or I can help you with anything, let me know. I love to teach quick and easy stamping. And I like to make sure that you realize stamping is fun and quick and easy. And the best part of it, you get to brighten someone's day when you send them a handmade card. So until I get to stamp with you again, have a stamp happy day.